Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lance Stroll Fan Club, where we talk about everything from the greatest overtakes to the fastest pit stop. Today, I have with me Dogra, who has been a
What's
recent
up?
recent guest on the podcast, and a new face, Jasmine, who is also trackside this week in Hungary, which is
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fun in the rain as well, but yeah.
And not so much in the rain.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I hope you brought a umbrella or something. So let's jump right in. So we saw yesterday McLaren was very dominant with Leclerc trailing it by a little bit. What did you guys think of Friday? Very shortly.
Friday. I mean, it's been looking very close between like Leclerc and the McLarens anyway. We saw in Belgium how that was kind of playing up, and he was always kind of there, not quite in the same, you know, never felt like he was kind of in the same race as them. But I mean, he's been like slowly building all season, so not super surprised by like his performance, but I do think he did sneak up on us a bit over the weekend. Especially because, he always says this is like his worst track.
Yeah. There were
I
any
mean,
notes
uh,
besides your nose?
sorry. So first and foremost, it's Leclerc pole. So as customary,
Thanks
excuse
for
me,
preserving our ears on that one.
excuse me. I had to get that out. Anyway, Leclerc pole, amazing. I didn't see it coming. The Ferrari team themselves didn't see it coming. The commentators didn't see it coming. Nobody saw it coming. Even Leclerc himself admitted that it's not an easy track for him, and yet he pulled it off. I think he was about what, two tenths of Piastri, or 1/10.
Yeah, it was close. It was
It was
close.
very, very close, but I'm glad he did it. And it's nothing much to say. It's just we were seeing this result quite repeatedly. I think over the past few races, actually, Leclerc was always in the top five, and even in free practice, we saw him in the top three consistently. I think we had the same result for two free practices: Norris, Piastri, Leclerc. So that was a deja vu moment for all of us. But seeing him finally pull it off and the qualifying was just so nice. As a Ferrari fan, it
Yeah.
brings me joy. It brings me relief. He might even take the win.
Well, we'll have to see about that. For now,
As
we'll
long as Ferrari doesn't pull a Ferrari.
of course.
Oh, I
For
don't
now,
know.
let's focus on qualifying. A lot of things happened in qualifying. We saw a couple of Q1 exits who might not have been predictable. Then, of course, Q2, where we had a little bit of rain in between there. And then Q3, which seemed like a different qualifying altogether. Changing conditions, everyone was suddenly half a second off their Q2 times. And then we saw unexpected things. So let's focus on that Q2. We saw Antonelli and Hamilton having another off weekend. Of course, in Spa, they had not their best performances of the year during qualifying. Both of them struggled with the car, little mistakes. And after the interviews, they were absolutely devastated. This week, doesn't seem like much has changed aside from where they were eliminated in qualifying. But what did you think of their performances and of their impending second half of the season?
I felt so bad for him, Hamilton, because I think in one of the interviews after the race, he said that he's he's useless, he's worthless, and it's just so sad to see a seven-time world champion reduced to that state. I mean, from his dominant time in that, I mean, I think he still holds the fastest lap on Hungary in the W11.
I think
Yeah,
so.
with
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, that
with
record,
a
yeah.
one yeah, with a 113 something, which nobody has even gotten close to during this entire weekend. I think the closest was Piastri with his 115. Yeah, 150.
One
It was
fourteen six, I think.
114.6. Yeah. So that's awesome. But it's just Antonelli has been having a slump, but Antonelli is fine. He's still 18. He's very, very young, new to the game. It's okay. He can take his time. Hamilton was just a I have no words for it. It just feels so bad for him. And I don't know whether it's the car or whether it is, his age finally showing up, finally his age catching up to him. Just that's all I have to say. Sorry. It's very sad affair.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty gutted. I'm a big Lewis fan, so it was a hard day. But I mean, with Antonelli, he looked quite promising like earlier in the weekend. He put in some quick laps. I think it's probably a big shame for him, given that the performance seemed quite promising. Even like for Russell as well, the performance has been quite solid. They're just not quite where they want to be at like close to the front. But I think with Lewis, it's just he was in that Mercedes for so long. I mean, even Carlos Sainz said, I think earlier in the season, like, you can't expect him to just magically pick up the car. We're halfway through the year now. I think for him, it's probably just really demoralizing to think like he should be close to Leclerc, and he's not quite there yet. I think it will come, especially like we're seeing the upgrades. We're seeing that is paying off. I think the fact that they're keeping Fred, that's good morale. It's a good boost for the team. I just think that he's probably not where he thought he would be at this point because he's not used to it, and he's not used to being kind of hate to say it, but kind of the second driver. Leclerc's been outperforming him all season. So I suppose he just needs to see kind of what the second half of the season brings now. But hopefully he can do another Belgium masterclass tomorrow.
I mean, it does look like Hungary will be more difficult to overtake. Of course, Hungary is always referred to as the Monaco without walls. We saw it in F3 and F2 as well. It's pretty difficult to actually pull off a move at this track. But as you referred to, we've kind of passed that initial phase of the season where we saw flashes of pace from Hamilton. He, of course, took the sprint pole and the sprint win in China. But do we think that maybe Ferrari and Hamilton might not have been the best fit at this point? Do we think that it might just not work out at all?
I never thought it was the right fit, personally. I was kind of no. From like the second the first rumor started, I was just I did not see anything good coming of this. They're so like devoted to Leclerc, and he's so devoted to them. And Lewis isn't gonna come in and be kind of the second driver. Leclerc is definitely not going to be the second driver. That's kind of his team now. So from second one, I did not see this working. I mean, like, I hope it works. Cause how great would it be for him to like potentially end his career there on a high? I don't think the vision is necessarily sort of paying off now, though. I'm not seeing it.
I get that. I mean, I feel like Ferrari would want to have the problem that McLaren is currently facing, which is having two drivers fighting for the championship. I think Ferrari would love to be in a situation like that. I said it's just not happening. And many people thought this is something that might happen to them. You know, both Ferrari and McLaren might be in the same category this year, both the drivers fighting each other, but it's just not happening. Leclerc has been out qualifying Hamilton by a lot. I think this is what Ferrari's first pole this entire season, and it was at Hamilton. I mean, not counting sprint poles, obviously, but this was Ferrari's proper pole this year, and it was Leclerc. It was not Hamilton.
Also on merit, we've seen people take pole with someone crashing out or someone exiting early, but we had both the McLarens in there in the fight, and yet Leclerc still got ahead of them. And I think that Q3 was really crucial to showcase how the current cars are working
Yeah.
and how timing is really important this season. We saw in the first runs that McLaren was just pushing and setting lap times that you couldn't believe. And then Stroll, of course, went out on his own to get a clear field. And he went, I think, first he went P3, just behind them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think the track had cooled down, 10 degrees between Q2 and Q3. And usually when that happens, we see Mercedes creeping to the front,
Yeah.
which I think we did again this time. I don't think that Russell had quite the lap that he wanted to. I think he had a big moment into the final corner, which kind of derailed his lap. But you can see how the setup windows are really important this season, where a couple of degrees can make or break it for any driver on the grid, except for McLaren. They always go well.
I think it really puts into perspective like how kind of sensitive the cars are. Like you don't think of it. Like, you think of them as these giant like carbon fiber machines, but they're so like temperamental, and even like the wind changing direction so slightly, it just derailed the whole end of their qualifying session. So
I mean, the Aston Martins at 5th and 6th, right?
yeah.
Yes. Since this week, we have been redubbed as Lance Stroll Fan Club, and we have, I think,
For a reason.
yeah.
We
I
were the blessing,
read an
okay? We
article
were
or
the blessing in disguise. Anyway, how long has it been since we last saw Alonso in the top 5?
2023 probably.
So I think everybody's happy there. You know, seeing Alonso in the top 5 actually performing well. He's behind only Russell, I think. Yeah, Russell. So we have Ferrari at the top, 2 McLarens, the most dominant force currently. Mercedes creeping up, the Astons. Then we have a Red Bull, no wait, a Sauber, a Red Bull, and then the 2 Racing Bulls. So this quali we saw Aston Martin's pull up to 5 and 6, and Gabriel Bortoleto out qualifying Max Verstappen. That was just a surprise. I mean, how? I have to ask you, Jasmine, how was that witnessing it from trackside?
Intense. Yeah, I mean, they've got a Max Verstappen grandstand. You know, I don't think anyone wanted to see maybe him so far back. I think a lot of people are really like rooting for the rookies though this year. So, like, especially like Hadjar, Bortoleto, like there's a lot of kind of support there. So I think that maybe softened the blow a little bit. But I don't know. The
4 rookies in the top 10.
insane.
We have Hadjar, Lawson, Bortoleto, and Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, I mean, as a Verstappen fan, I could not be disappointed with Bortoleto out qualifying Verstappen.
Fair.
It's just something that you love to see. I love to see the rookies doing well.
Yeah.
It just brings me joy. It's amazing.
I think I saw a stat. It was like Hadjar, and I think Hadjar's like never had a Q1 exit or something like that.
He's never had a Q1 exit. And he's the only of the top 5 drivers that have never had a Q1 exit.
Insane. I mean, I think the performance that they're putting in is just like, it's just insane. Sauber's had this huge like jump forward, and to see that kind of momentum carried by like a rookie driver in Bortoleto. The Red Bull situation is just cinema. Like, their junior team is just pulling out all the stops, and you've got Max Verstappen struggling. Like, what's going on? But it was a great session. That Q3 was intense.
Yeah. I mean, while of course McLaren and Ferrari are really just dominating the field right now. This weekend, I'm not saying Ferrari is doing well this season altogether, but Leclerc has put that car in a place where I don't think it belonged at the start of the weekend. Red Bull, on the other hand, have been. I don't think they've had top 10 in any of the sessions so far. Um, from Tsunoda, we haven't seen too much being able to keep up with the rest, but from Verstappen, we haven't seen this in a long time, where he just hasn't been able to keep up.
Yeah, I was quite surprised like when I saw the timesheets, like kind of going sort of where is he? And that was not what I expected to see. I mean, I just feel like the car is so temperamental. Like the the way it performs, I don't even think they kind of know what to prepare for now. Like that's kind of the vibe I get from Max himself, from like the team. So I don't really know. I think must be really frustrating for Max, especially like not knowing what his car's going to do, because that's not something he's had to worry about for a long time. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting one with Red Bull.
Yeah, yeah. We saw him yesterday literally throwing in the towel after complaining the entire session about having both under and oversteer, which is not something you see often in Formula One.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
unique.
Doga, what did you?
I mean, that entire throw in the towel bit was really, really funny to me because I actually didn't look at that session and I was just following the updates and all I heard was Verstappen is throwing in the towel. I was like, is bro retiring? I picked up my phone. I'm like, oh, he literally threw in a towel. Interesting. So
No,
that was a moment and a half.
I was literally. I think that's the first thing I saw. Like after I landed, I turned my phone on. I was like, "What happened?" I was like so confused. It was just, yeah, that's not something you see every weekend. So it always seems to be him that has something stuck in his car in a weird place. I don't know how this
I mean,
keeps
we've seen
happening to
it
him.
from Norris as well with
Yeah,
certain mechanics tools in the garage.
Yeah.
But of course, this one had to be also be referred to the stewards as it's pretty unsafe to drive with a towel between your legs,
Yeah.
as it can just slip into the real mechanical parts of the car.
They can
yeah,
actually
Um,
like get stuck behind the paddles and he won't be able
yeah,
to brake or anything. But there was another thing. I think you and me also talked about this on call that his car has so much oversteer that it had understeer, or it was the reverse. But
yeah.
it's just such a shitty situation to be in when you're the reigning champion.
yeah,
I mean, we have seen this before. I think Vettel was in his there was one season he didn't become champion. He kind of just fell off because other teams had caught up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's you don't like to see it, being so good and then just having a season where everyone seems to be passing you on the straight without much effort. In this case, the McLarens, but he's still putting in pretty decent performances, even despite the car. Um,
I mean, definitely. Like
but
we saw in Belgium, like in the sprint race. I know the rest of the weekend wasn't particularly good for him, but once he got in front of Piastri, that was it. Like no one was getting past that. So I think it's so track specific, setup specific, and I don't think they can get it into that kind of sweet spot that he wants and is used to, and it's just not coming together. Um, but I also find it interesting now we're finally seeing like a performance gap between the Red Bulls. Like, uh, we're not seeing the performance gap as much. Obviously, Yuki is somewhere else, but it was a lot weirder, I think, when it was like Max was dominating and his teammate was like at the last track. So at least, not at least, but something's kind of showing itself there. Like the performance is just, I think it's just so temperamental.
I mean, in this case, we were actually pretty excited about the Red Bulls because they were only a tenth and a half apart from one another, and yet Verstappen got through, and Tsunoda was kicked out. He's been pretty close all weekend, but it's just a little bit that just can't get close enough. Yeah, but talk about your experience at the track this weekend. how's the weather been? How's it going to be? Maybe can you see a lot?
It's hot. It's really hot. Today was. I needed a minute. Today it was intense. Like it's very like dry, heat, dust, just intense, intense sun. And there's not a lot of shade unless you're kind of sat in like certain areas in the fan zones where the food is, and that fills up pretty quickly because people are doing their thing. Or you've got to like fight someone for a tree. There's no there's no in between. Like it's pretty intense. Like I think it's maybe not the best for like general admission anymore. I think obviously it was. I don't know so much about that anymore though. When you're in certain parts of the track, like you can see like a couple of corners at a time. So like I was down by like turn 12, that kind of area, so you can kind of see, but then it kind of just gets lost. You lose it again really quickly. But I mean, yeah, the weather is I think a big factor. Like we saw with McLaren that how that became such a massive factor today. Like start of the day was just super intense heat. So obviously their practice session was completely different to the end of qualifying. Like there was night and day kind of between them. So I think that's definitely like a huge factor in where their performance kind of fell off. The wind picked up. There was no wind this morning. There was no wind. It was very hot, just sun, 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 no cloud, a lot. And then the clouds started coming in, the wind started coming in, and pretty much everything that they've been doing all weekend just disappeared. So I can kind of see why that was an issue for them. But the track itself, I mean, it's a great atmosphere. There's so many like different people there. It's not just Hungarian fans. There's a lot of like other European fans, a lot of British fans. So it's a nice environment and it feels good. Everyone's like the team support is really like mixed as well. You've got like McLaren, Red Bull. I even saw some George Russell fans, which I wasn't expecting to see today. But yeah, no, it was it's a great like atmosphere, definitely. But the weather, I think tomorrow it looks like no rain now.
It looks like rain early morning.
Yeah. So I think
So we might get a repeat of Spa at this point, where F3 and F2 have the rain, and then F1 is basically dry.
yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure. I mean, I think it track conditions could be maybe impacted for like F3, but I think it's so early in the morning that if we get the heat that we had today, it is going to be cooler tomorrow as well, more cloud. But I think, you know, earlier in the week we were expecting a storm, so I'm quite happy that that opportunity is off the table. It seems. So I don't know. I think it will be really dependent. It will be interesting to see how the McLaren performs though, because I mean, if the Ferrari liked those sort of changing conditions and the McLaren clearly didn't, I don't know, but I suppose they might change. They might change sort of their setup, I suppose. So it's anyone's race tomorrow based on the weather, I think.
Which is what we want to see, to be honest.
Yes.
Now you said there was a little bit of shade. Did you have to fight anyone for a little bit of shade, or?
I just kind of got on the floor and gave up. Like I had enough.
You couldn't be bothered, okay?
No, I was not. I was not into. I was wearing a Fred Vasseur t-shirt. I didn't want to fight anyone today.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the value. I didn't see a good outcome in that. No, I think where it is in the calendar, where it is in the year, like I think if you're not in a grandstand, even some of the grandstands aren't covered. So you're kind of just sat there in the sun, hoping and praying at that point. It's intense. Like, I will say the facilities are really good though. Like, you've pretty much always got access to like water and food and stuff. So I think in that regard, it's really good. They have seemingly built their new special private VIP hospitality right in front of like a prime track position for like general admission, and some of the grandstands that are like further back from the pit straight. So I don't think that's great for the general experience. But that's F1 for you, I suppose. So I don't know.
I mean, now Hungary is a pretty historic track anyway, so I think some renovations were overdue. In the Hungarian Grand Prix preview, we did a little game where we named the 10 most recent drivers to win the Grand Prix. So the 10, so not if you win multiple times, but everyone who's won it since. I have a little bit of a different one today. So the Hungarian Grand Prix is known for having people win their first pole position or a win there. There's 5 people on the current grid who have had their maiden win or pole at this track. We'll go one after the other, and you can guess. Everyone you guess is 1 point. There's 5 in total. So I say, Jasmine, you can start with the guessing.
Ocon. Ocon.
That is one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, also name the year and what he did. So either pole or win.
He won in 2021.
Okay, yeah, that's completely right.
God damn it. I hate my chances. I'm gonna say... Wait, their maiden victory and their maiden pole.
Maiden win or maiden pole, and only drivers on the current grid. There is more, but I decided to keep it easy for today.
Maiden... I'm gonna say Max Verstappen.
He is on the list.
Hey,
Do
man.
you know what for and in what year?
I'm gonna say 2021, his first pole.
It was his first pole, but not 2021.
Damn it.
Verstappen got his first pole in 2019 at the Hungaroring.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I'd say half point. Jasmine?
I'm so glad you didn't go for this one. Piastri, last year, maiden win, 2024.
That's
God damn it.
correct.
I should have said. I had Piastri in my mind, but I was like, it wasn't Hungary, it was something else. I think it was Belgium for me in my mind.
I'm still traumatized from that race. I will never forget.
If you want a hint, I can give you one.
Let me guess, his teammate as well?
No.
Okay, it's not. What's the hint then?
As we saw today, a driver took a shock pole. In 2022, another driver took a really surprising pole position, his first.
Was it Lance Stroll? No.
No.
Man, I don't even remember the 2022 championship.
All I remember from 2022 is just Max Verstappen. I don't remember.
No, that's 2023 as well.
Yeah, 2022 was, of course, the first of the new era. There's 2 more people on the list. One I've just given a hint about. The other one goes back pretty far.
Alonso.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that wasn't my place to answer. I'm so sorry.
Hamilton.
No, not on the list.
No.
No. So Dorga, back to you.
2022. Hold on a second. I mean, six of the people on the grid weren't even F1 drivers back in 2022.
It should be easy, right?
It should be. Not for me though.
You can't.
Carlos Sainz.
No.
Jasmine, back to you.
I'm so stuck.
I hate this.
The 2022 one is really bothering me. Okay, you said the other one was quite far back.
Yes.
Alonso?
Yes. What did he do and when?
First win in 2004.
No. I'll give you a half point. He got his first win in 2003 at the Hungaroring.
I don't think.
Oh, my guess was 2005.
I wasn't born then. It doesn't count.
That's not on her then.
That's fair enough.
I think I was the only one born at that time out of all of us.
Yeah. I think we have a final half point up for grabs because I basically gave the rest away already. Anyone want to do a final guess? There's
It's my
6
turn
drivers
anyway.
who weren't even on the grid. We've already
So
guessed a
there's
couple.
6 is done. Hamilton isn't in the list. Both the McLaren drivers aren't. Charles Leclerc.
No. Jasmine, final guess?
Oh no. No.
2021 and then 2022.
Wait a second. No.
First. And it was a shock. It was a shock.
Yeah, it was a really surprise.
And they didn't win the race. They didn't win the race.
I don't think they did, no.
No way.
I'm going to have to press you for an answer.
Okay. Ocon, again, got his first pole.
No. George Russell took his first pole position in his first year with Mercedes at the Hungaroring.
I'm a disgrace.
Me too.
And apparently it was a shock to you guys as well.
My next guess was Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, maybe not the best one. But as we are about to close out this episode of Lance Stroll Fan Club, what are you guys' predictions for?
I have
race?
a gun in the closet. If Leclerc doesn't win this race, I am ending it all. That's it. That's my prediction.
You might want to put a content warning on that before you blast stuff like that out.
I haven't. I have a win written right here.
Okay, so if Charles Leclerc will win, do you also want to close out the rest of the podium?
Piastri Lando.
Keeping it easy. That's fine.
Yep.
I think Lando is just going to go full breaking point and just he's had enough now. He's gonna win. He probably won't. But that's my that's my guess. And then Piastri, P2. I'm sorry, I think Leclerc is just going to fall off and it's going to be a horrifying time for him.
He's going to make you eat your words.
I hope so. Alonso, P3 Alonso.
Bold.
Okay, then it appears I'm the only one who's going to do justice to Lance Stroll Fan Club this weekend. I'm going to say Leclerc, Norris, and Stroll. I mean, Piastri's been really, really consistent, but I think something's going to happen.
I was going to say, what happens to him in this scenario?
I don't know.
No.
But last week we said Stroll was going to get on the podium if they were to race in the rain. It didn't, so yeah, there was no chance for him. I said we're going to go to rain race tomorrow, so yeah. Bring your coats, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that prediction, we are going to close out this podcast. Everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us here. If you have any suggestions or other games you would like to play, put them in the comments, please. And we see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.